Okay, we will get started then. Welcome everyone to Santaquin City Planning Commission meeting tonight. It's Tuesday, August 26, 2025, and we're getting started at 7:01. Thanks for being patient with us. All right. Would anyone here tonight like to get us started with an inspirational thought or an invocation? I see a volunteer.
This is from Jeffrey R. Holland, who I sustain as an apostle. As regarding empathy, we may not be able to alter the journey, but we can make sure that no one walks it alone.
Thank you, Councilman Radcox. Thank you. All right. Would anyone like to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance tonight?
I can do that.
Please.
Please stand.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Commissioner Waite. Okay. On the screen here, on the screens, you can see the agenda for tonight. I think we're just going to proceed in this order unless anyone's got any objections. All right, we will proceed in this order. So we're going to start tonight, for those of you who are present, with the public forum. So that is your opportunity to address the commission with regard to anything that's on your mind. Now, I do want to point out that we do have 3 public hearings on the agenda. So if you've got comments or thoughts related to any of those individual agenda items, please hang on to those thoughts. And when we get to the public hearing, we'll call you up and let you comment then. But if you would like to address the commission with regard to anything else tonight, now's the time to do it. So I will open the public forum tonight at 7:03 and invite any comments if anyone would like to. Please. Please state your name for us for the record.
My name is Kylie Lance. Hello, nice to see everybody. I didn't make it to put my name on the agenda item I'm here for, which is Bella Vista. I was just hoping you guys would take into consideration including in the development agreement standards, quality standards, such as types of fencing, mandating landscaping, anything like that, just to ensure the value of the neighborhood stays high. That's all.
All right. Thanks, Kylie. All right. Is there any other comments tonight for the public forum? Okay, then we will go ahead and close the public forum at 7:03, and we'll move on to agenda item number 1. This is an application for a major home application. Let me try again. This is an application for a major home occupation located at 275 West Saddlebrook Drive. All right, now that I've stumbled my way through the title, we can get to the meat of the discussion.
Okay, so it's actually 2 major home occupations and 2 conditional use permits. It's for the same dance studio, the Oaks Dance Studio. One of the conditional use permits is for 275 West Saddlebrook Drive and 292 West 500 North. For reference, here's the 275 West Saddlebrook. It's in the R15 PUD zone, and the 292 West 500 North is in the R8 zone. The applicant proposes to operate a few dance classes capped at 10 students per class and no more than 24 students per day between 12 p.m. and 8 p.m. As a reminder, this review is for the Planning Commission to determine whether or not all requirements found in Santaquin City Code 10.40.60 and 40 are being followed and a conditional use permit can be granted. As part of the application, there's also a business plan that goes over how they're meeting all the requirements, as well as a traffic circulation plan. The applicant is also in the audience who is willing to answer questions, I'm sure.
Okay. Is there anything you'd like to add to that presentation?
I would just add,
Would you step up to the microphone for us and state your name for the record, please?
I'm Oakley Johnson, and so we've been doing a minor occupation for the last 2 years, and it's been fun. A lot of the neighbor kids have loved it, and so that's why we're wanting to now move to the major occupation so more kids can be involved.
Okay, thank you. All right. Well, we do have a public hearing on this agenda item tonight, so let's go ahead and go forward with that public hearing right now. I'll open the public hearing at 7:06 and invite any comments on this application, if anyone would like to.
Are we doing the first Saddlebrook one? Because we don't have comments on that one.
That's a fair question. These are kind of tied together, but they are two separate agenda items. Let's go ahead and focus on Saddlebrook, and then we'll come back around to the next one. So, any comments with regard to the application at the first address? Okay, then we will close the public hearing for 275 West Saddlebrook at 7:07, and we can move into discussion on this application. So I had one question, which was pertaining to the code and major occupations, and how that applies to multiple locations. And we had some discussion about this offline, but the way I read the code, I'm not sure that it is allowed for one operator to operate a major home occupation in two different locations. Am I reading the code correctly?
The applicant has to reside at the business address.
That's what I understood as well.
Can I give some comments on that?
Sure, come on up, please.
So we live at the Saddlebrook, which is really fun. That's where we currently have the dance studio. The new location, my brother-in-law, it's his house, and he's one who's involved with the business, investing in the business, and is also a business owner. So together, me and my brother-in-law. He's the one with that house, and I'm the one with the Saddlebrook house. So if needed, that's what I wanted to hear from you all. Is there, do we need him to be that? He's actually on his way, but he's running late. So does he need to apply for that one, and I need to apply for the other? But we're both part of that business, so that's how we're doing the two.
Okay,
But
that
yeah,
helps.
would love insight as well of better ways to follow the code with that as well.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks for that clarification.
I would think that they would have to have separate applications, but we'd need some clarification on that one as well. I'm not sure.
Yeah, and I'm looking this direction towards staff. Do you guys have any clarification on how that would be handled in a case like this?
I believe that they would need to file a separate application with the brother-in-law's name on the application, just so
For
it's
the other
very clear
location.
in the paper trail and everything.
That would make it much more clear as to who actually owns the home and who's
Who's operating the business
home
there.
occupation is under.
Yeah.
So we could probably approve the Saddlebrook one, but as far as the other one, that would need a separate application, in my opinion. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but
Yeah.
I think that would make the most sense.
yeah.
Okay. Apologies for the back and forth because this is a new process for us as well.
That's understandable. So with that, would he be able to fill out the application as the information would be the same? And could we solve it today, or would we need to wait 2 whole more weeks to meet on it again? If everything else looks good, that's the only thing I thought.
I'm not sure about the application process.
Yeah, me neither.
It would have to be renoticed for a new
Yeah,
public
Because it
hearing.
would be a new application,
Yeah.
essentially. Okay.
So they need to do 2 new ones or just one?
No,
We
just
can
the
use
one.
this for the Saddlebrook application.
Correct.
Since the applicant is here and she lives at Saddlebrook.
Hmm.
The other one, they'd have to have a separate application.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
That doesn't make sense.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay. Now that we've addressed that question, what other questions or concerns do we have on the Saddlebrook application?
Okay, from a legal standpoint, when I read this, whoever lives there can apply for it and operate it. And if you don't live there, you can't operate it.
That's how I read it.
So
Well, if he's a part of the business, if he's a partial business owner, if his name's on the business license, I'm sure you could make that work. But,
Okay, I just don't want him to get into legal problems down the road that
yeah.
somebody's gonna come back and say, you're,
Right.
Oh, sorry.
I'll speak louder.
It's when I turn this way, they can't hear me.
Yeah.
So we can see the application here, and the application shown on the screen basically outlines all the rest of the requirements that would be, for a major home occupation of this sort. Are there any concerns with what's shown in the application here? I think it pretty well addresses the requirements for a home occupation of this sort.
I didn't see any issues with the drop-off plan. Did you guys see anything there that we should be concerned about?
My daughter actually goes to the one right now, and a ton of the people that go do walk. It's like tons of kids in the neighborhood. So like I looked it over really good. I think the plan is great for the drop-off. I don't think for Saddlebrook is going to be an issue at all because most of the people are walking there. I've never seen any kind of traffic that would cause concern. So from a personally being there in the neighborhood, I think that's fine.
Yeah, and of course the major concern there is that kids are loading and unloading on the passenger side.
Right.
So
right.
they're getting out in front of the house and not having to cross the street or cross traffic. So, and I think that's addressed. Okay, well, it is the Planning Commission's job to approve or not the conditional use permit with regard to this home application or major home occupation application. If there's no further discussion, is anyone prepared to make a motion?
I'll make a motion. I'll make a motion to approve the conditional use permit for the Oaks Dance Studio at 275 West Saddlebrook Drive with the following conditions. All code requirements in Santaquin City Code 10.40.060 and 10.40.040 be met, and a business license be obtained before operation.
Okay, thank you. We have a motion by Commissioner Moak to approve. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Commissioner Romero. Any further discussion before we vote? Okay, let's vote. Commissioner Waite,
Yes.
Commissioner Hoffman,
Yes.
Commissioner Wood, yes. Commissioner Nixon,
Yes.
Commissioner Romero,
Yes.
Commissioner Moak.
Yes.
Okay, that conditional use permit for a major home occupation at 275 West Saddlebrook is approved and it's unanimous. All right. So with regard to the discussion in agenda item number 1, I guess I should say we should move on to agenda item number 2, but it may make sense for us to just table this item. I don't think there's much to discuss in light of the fact that we believe that a new application is required, and I think that's the way the applicant is going to go. Does anyone disagree with that? Sure, please. Would you step up to the microphone? State your name for us.
My name's Sharon Harris, and my one comment that I was concerned was about the ownership and the resident part. I know that her brother-in-law, my husband had talked to him before, the brother-in-law and the father-in-law bought the home. The brother-in-law said, I will not be living in this for a long time. I'm going to go on a mission. So was that the same brother-in-law? So if he's not living in the home, he doesn't qualify. So, I mean, you just might want to let her know that off the gate so they don't pursue this further, but we have other concerns for later.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. So it sounds like if, as a follow-up application were to proceed, there would be another agenda item with a public hearing. And so certainly if there's any concerns or comments, we would look forward for that input then. But that's a good point to bring up now as well. So thanks.
Trevor,
Yes.
I know you're willing to table it, but I think we still need to hold the public hearing for this item.
Okay, because it was noticed and
Yeah.
okay, fair enough. Well, let's do that then. We will hold a public hearing on the major home occupation application for the same dance studio located at 292 West, 500 North. And I'll go ahead and open the public hearing at 7:15. Would anyone like to comment with regard to the application? Thank you.
My name is Sharon Harris. Hi. I'm glad that the first one got approved, though. It's a good thing. Oakley and her husband are delightful, wonderful people. Their business is good. They're bringing good things to the neighborhood. I love that. However, for my neighborhood, it is not a good fit. And it makes me sick to have to say that. But it isn't. It isn't because of traffic. And it isn't because of so many things. But I did wonder about that resident thing because I knew Oakley wasn't going to be living in the home in my neighborhood. And I know she talked about putting her brother on the business license with her, so her brother-in-law, so that they could go around. But that's skirting around the law. And so that does concern me. They're good people. I know she has dreams and ambitions, and I wish that she had a commercial place to go to because she does deserve that. And I'm hoping Santaquin will have something because all these kids, they benefit from this. I agree. But I don't think that the problem of not having enough commercial places falls on the residents. And I have also seen code breaking galore in Santaquin. I'm sorry to say that. I'm sorry. But it's true, and I'll say it if I disappear next week. No, but it's rampant. It's like, it's supposed to be 48 kids, right? 48 cars, 24 kids, drop off, pick up, 2 per kid. But many places are breaking the codes left and right. And so that caused my neighbors, and for every one of us that's here tonight, there was 10 others that were not happy with it, but they didn't feel comfortable coming and saying it. But there's been code breaking in lots of different dance studios just like that. Oakley may be totally honest. She told me she tried to keep it down to 16 cars, and but she needed more kids. And I understood she needed more kids, but I said, I can't go with more cars. I got lots of grandkids on that street. We have lots of kids, and we've got 6 homes. 2 have just sold, but 4 more that are being built on our street on 500 North. It's right on the street she's on. That there's going to be more kids, and there's kids next door too. And they all ride their scooters and bikes. 2 of my grandkids learned how to ride bikes on that this summer. And we love how it's, even with the construction, we worked around it. But it's not the infrastructure you need for that kind of a business. It's the wrong place to steer them. I wish that they hadn't, I wish someone had guided them a little better for a better place to put it. But there are other dance studios that they have multiple classes. It says 2 sessions a day, code breaking galore on that one. And there's also supposed to be half an hour between each session. And bless your heart, Oakley, you didn't have half an hour between sessions, and you'd have more than 2 per day. Having more than 2 sessions per day brings in a lot more cars than what it would bring in if you only had 2. So on her website, it'll show clearly that she has classes 3 on Tuesday, 4 on Wednesday, 3 on Thursday, and there's all back to back. Not unlike all the others, Oakley, so I don't blame you. She's seen what the others have done. They all do back to back. There's also adult, which I don't know how child activities falls into adult activities, but I don't believe that's part of code, and I think that's breaking code as well. Other dance studios have done it. They put in fitness things. It's even on the forbidden list, right? But it's out there, so I am just here to remind you guys, be honest and please protect us residents. We love Santaquin. We just moved here. We wanted to move to a small town, and we wanted to be around good people, which I think you all are. I think that your hearts are just, you're in the right place. You just maybe wanted to help a lot of people with businesses, but you don't realize you're hurting people that are residents. When people are bringing in that much traffic, our property value will go down, no doubt about it. And there can be incidents with children trying to get in and out of cars. If you're trying to have them go on 300 West, then 300 West is a very narrow street, and they have to park up next to the curb. There's a curb. They can't go on the sidewalk, which is against Utah code anyway, but they cannot park on that side of the street because it's less than 6 inches, the white line that's on the side, and there's a double yellow on 300, a double yellow. And what happens to cars when they park on the side? People have to go in the oncoming, and they have to cross over the double yellow, and people line up. And just to be real, when people drop off and pick up, there is parking involved. That neighborhood is a wonderful one that she's in Saddlebrook. It's perfect. People do come and walk and everything. Here we're spread out further, and it's going to cause a line of cars. And this line of cars, the moms and dads, whoever's driving, is going to have to come out of their car, come around, open the little children's doors because they aren't going to be able to open their own doors. And then we have to make sure they get away from the cars before they go away or walk them in. It's going to take a little while That's all. It's going to take longer. And if you've got 4 classes with 10 students, you've got 40 students, you've got 80 cars. How are we going to support that? It's a very small street. It's one way, the block up. And then, so on 300 West, that's a no-go for safety all the way around. And then on 500 North, it's a no-go because, I mean, they can't park in front of our driveways. And we've got 5 panels on our driveways, like more than a 3-car garage size. They gave us really good sized driveways for all the homes. There's hardly any street that they could be parking on. And there's also a stop sign and a fire hydrant on the side. So just pointing out those things, and I'm just asking you guys to please respect the fact that it's not compatible with our neighborhood, and that's what it says that you're supposed to look for, and it doesn't promote peace and quiet and tranquility. I wish them the best because I want them to be able to do things. I'm hoping they get a different community. But I know I met the neighbor that lives upstairs in that house, and it is not her brother-in-law, and the person below is not her brother-in-law. So maybe, they'll try to move him in later, but I'm just saying, it doesn't sound to me like they're following code. And I'm not surprised because, unfortunately, the community has encouraged it by not enforcing it. I'm sorry. But the truth has to be said. There's lots of people out there, residents, that have told me, I've gone canvassing to all kinds of neighborhoods, and they're very stressed with all the traffic that's been brought into their neighborhoods, 90 a day, things like that, multiple classes, well over the 2 sessions. And I don't want to be labeled a Karen or anything, but I would be counting cars. I would definitely, so that I can protect my grandkids and protect my neighborhood. Even though I love Oakley and Dustin, they're good people. But in this community where we live, it's not compatible. So I defer to you guys to determine that. Thank you.
Thank you. Would anyone else like to comment during the public hearing?
Hi.
Hi. Please state your name for us.
I'm Cleanne Brost.
Thank you.
And, you took the map away. Put that map back, would you please? Okay. I live right across the street in that lot, that kind of vacant lot, and then you've got the red dot. You see the red dot, and then right across on 300 West, that's where I live. Okay? I'm just more or less worried about the traffic. That street is one of the narrowest streets in Santaquin, because above here you have the one-way street, and then starting right at the corner, then they have the two-way streets. That is one of the main streets for all of those people down there, and that traffic is horrendous. And you can't believe how fast those people go on that street. And so I'm worried about, and I even took a picture today. People are parking on that sidewalk. I took a picture today of the cars parked on the sidewalk. 2 days ago, there was trucks on my side of the street, parked on my sidewalk. And then today, that was on her side of the street, the one car. And so it is just so narrow to have all the traffic, and they go so darn fast. I mean, I don't know what it is. They don't stop at the stop sign right down there on 3, and then they have to race to the next stop sign. I don't know why they have to do that, but it's, I know they're going 40 miles an hour on that street. So I'm really concerned about what would happen if someone was to come and park even on close to my side of the street and let their kids out. They'd have to cross that street, and you cannot see anybody coming. So that's one thing I'm really worried about, is the parking. And a lot of the parents will come early to pick up their kids. And so if they're parking early, either on that street or even in those other streets, they're waiting, and it's congestion. along that street. So be aware that that is the narrowest street in Santaquin. I don't know if it's the number one area, but I think it's the number one. That it is so narrow that you just can't have parking on either side of that road. And I want you to be aware of that with this. And I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, thank you for taking our comments. I'm Raquel Jensen. I live on 532 North, 300 West. We've lived there 27 years, and you guys gratefully put in these beautiful sidewalks across the street from me, and that's the one Cleanne is referring to. And sidewalks were meant to put in to protect the pedestrians that are walking from the oncoming cars. We cannot have everybody parking on them. Since you have put them in, they have become quite popular, and all our neighbors are out walking their dogs and their families all day, night, evening, weekends, Sunday. Everybody's out enjoying it. If we have people parking on that sidewalk, they're not going to be safe from the traffic. Secondly, I live across the street, so my sidewalk is quite a bit smaller than Cleanne's. And I sent an email when that house was going up because of the fence. It obstructed my view pulling out of my driveway. I never heard back, and it's been fine, and we deal with it. But if I've also got cars lined up with parents pick up and drop off, I'm not going to be able to see pulling out of my driveway, and that is not safe for the kids in Santaquin. I need to have a clear view, and I invited any of you to please come and pull out of my driveway and see that it is obstructed from that fence. So I value the children and I value the business, and I'm glad that it's coming here, but it's not the right spot. That street is so narrow, like Cleanne said, and if we've got parents lined up and you're blocking, now you're taking the sidewalk so they can't safely walk to take their children to and from dance. And I'm not going to be able to pull in my driveway because I'm the only house on that side. So thank you for listening, and I appreciate it.
Thank you. Would anyone else like to comment? Please.
I'm Dave Harris. I'm Sharon. She's the one that spoke first. I'm her husband. Just wanted to kind of recap a little bit about what's been said already. Few things I've taken notes on. The applicant says that people won't be parking all over the place, that they actually have a traffic flow plan. It'll just be a simple drop off and pick up. If you've ever had kids that you've taken to school, out in front of that school, what do you see? People sitting there. That's what they do. They show up 5, 10, 15 minutes ahead of time, and they sit there and they wait for their kids. And in our neighborhood, that just is not going to work. And again, on the application that is yet forthcoming, the applicant basically is applying for up to 48 cars per day. The website is Tuesday through Thursday at 4 classes a day. And according to the application, that would include Monday and Friday. Okay, so we're concerned about that. That just seems like a lot bigger fit for our neighborhood, like everybody has stated. Now, to the traffic situation, I wanted to just kind of pass around a picture real quick, talking about 300 West, and what Cleanne has already mentioned. Do I just hand it to you?
Sure. Just start it over here and we'll pass it down.
Okay, that is a picture of our car parked on the side. Sorry, we did it for demonstration purposes only. But if you look on that street, you'll see how narrow that shoulder is. Okay, it's only about maybe a couple feet, okay, between the curb and between the stripe on the side of that street. I'm talking about 300 West. north of 400 North. So it's one way up to 400 North, but once you cross 400 North, okay, it does become two-way. However, there is a double yellow in the middle of the road. Okay, you can see in that picture, if you notice, if anybody parks on that street, on that east side of the street, oncoming traffic has to pass them crossing over the double yellow line. It's just there's no getting around it. On the west side of that street, in order to safely park on that side of the street, you have to, like Cleanne and Sharon have mentioned already, you have to park on the sidewalk to safely park on that street. So it is obvious to us that 300 West is out. Now, that leaves 450 North, and that also leaves 500 North. Now, if you're familiar with 500 North and 450 North, that's where Hive Homes have a subdivision. Okay? And they advertise just about pretty much every one of those houses, except for, I think, one of those homes that another builder built on that corner, are ADU units in the basement. Okay? They have to have super extra wide driveways. And we know people can't park in front of driveways. That's already been established. Okay? So when they park in front of, so nobody can park in front of the driveway. That leaves little to no extra parking at all on either one of those streets. And that is if nobody else is parked on the street, residents, so on and so forth. So we see that as being really problematic for that neighborhood. Also, and I don't know if it is permissible, but one of the residents texted me for me to relay to the board. Is that okay or not?
You can read it if you'd like, sure.
Okay. So Keith Judd, okay, he's owner of Judd's Automotive. They live on 300 West, just south of the Broasts. Okay, they have an empty lot. And when we approached Oakley about our concerns, she said the Judds let them park on their empty lot, or going to let people park on the empty lot if people need to park. And I talked to them today. Actually, his wife, I went over to the business and I talked to her, and Keith wasn't there, but later on he texted me this, and I'm going to read it. He said, "This is Keith Judd. This is what I sent to Dustin and Oakley about the parking. You can make sure I am not misrepresented. I will not be able to be there. Thanks." And he says, "Good afternoon. I'm concerned there is some confusion and or misunderstanding about what arrangements we have concerning parking and use of our property. You mentioned it the one day we haven't, but we have not talked about it any further since. I have talked with Chris and my children about the possibility of parking on the field. The outcome of that was that we would be willing to allow up to 3 cars parking in the field north of the storm drain, Monday through Thursday until 5 p.m. They would need to face west, not parallel to the road. Anyway, there's a lot of details in here I don't need to go over. He doesn't want them parking after 5 o'clock and at all on Fridays. And I know Fridays are part of this application, Saturday or Sunday, and that's not a problem there. We would have no liability for falling branches, weeds, any other hazard parking there if it's wet, muddy. We're also very concerned about winter parking. 300 West, even in the summertime, I mean, you can't even stop on that street safely. 4 and 500, we're concerned this is a year-round operation with winter parking. That even if, according to what I've read in the code, if the snow's flying or if it's on the ground, and it doesn't even need to be on the ground, even if it's flying, you can't park on the street. And and plus on that lot, on the Judd's lot, there's no plans to plow it or anything. Santaquin's soil, boy, when it rains, you guys, it turns into quicksand. We've just started to learn that. And so, we're not sure how safe, even if it wasn't private property, which looks like Keith's not really wanting more than about 3 cars, just from the safety issues. Anyway, and then with the ADUs, there are vacant lots on 450 North and 500 North, but they are all planned to have homes with ADU units. As far as we know at this point, according to Hive's plan, and we haven't been told differently. And so if people say, hey, we can just park in front of the vacant lots, well, they're not going to be vacant lots forever. And once you get a permit, that changes things. So that's all I have for now. Good? Okay. Checking with my wife.
Thank you. Do you mind if we hang on to your picture?
Huh?
Do you mind if we hang on to your picture?
Oh, sure. It's all yours.
All right, thanks.
I also have a picture of 500 North, like the street we actually live on, for reference, if you want.
Sure.
Yeah. That'd be nice.
Thank you. Thank
You
you.
can see the extra wide ADU driveways pretty clearly on there.
Thanks.
So, thanks.
Yep. Okay, would anyone else like to comment tonight during the public hearing?
There's just a 4 of us who signed up, right?
To be honest, I didn't even look. Sorry. Something like that.
Art Adcock, and I don't live in the area of what's being discussed this evening. A lot of research and a lot of homework apparently has been done by these folks that have preceded me. I admire their diligence. Third West has been pretty well beat to death. It's a narrow road. I have a bad memory, but I drove it today. I thought there was no parking signs on the road. 500 North is relatively narrow. I have a little compact car and I could not make a U-turn, even getting a little bit up onto the sidewalk. I still couldn't make a U-turn, and I can turn my little car around in a pretty close area. I don't think that this location is adequate for what's being imposed upon the location and the residents that live there. I happen to live a block away from an already approved dance studio, and I'm not happy with the circumstances that have been brought to the neighborhood. It's overused. It's not managed properly. There's cars all over the place. They park perpendicular to the lot. I can't see how that the children that attend the dance studio can safely arrive and leave. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, would anyone else like to comment in the back?
I had just one comment about the traffic.
Will you state your name for us for the record, please?
Yeah, my name is Dustin Johnson, Oakley's husband. And the one comment regarding the traffic, my little girl's trying to get that microphone. We did have an idea to resolve the traffic concern of potentially using like a 16-passenger van, dropping off at an alternative location, and then using one car vehicle in order to bring the kids to the dance studio. We drive into the driveway and park there, drop off, and then return the kids to the kind of more designated drop off and pick up location. And then that would be a location that they could then park and things like that. So there would only ever be a single car transporting children to the residence, and it would only ever have to park in the driveway, never on the street of any kind. And so that was an idea that we came up with for amendment to the traffic plan. Thank you.
Okay, thanks for that clarification. Okay, any other comments tonight for the public hearing?
I just real quick want to thank everyone who came. Honestly, it's been so fun having conversations with the neighborhood and figuring out, okay, what are the concerns? And since we wrote this plan, it's been fun, like hearing more ideas and hearing more ideas with this hearing of the problems. And I'm excited to actually relook through it and see, okay, what more ideas can we add to this plan to make it better? And just see what we can figure out. And so thank you all for your ideas. And I'm excited to look at more things like passenger van, locations, and just see what we can do to make it work. Even if it's like, we were planning on doing Monday through Thursday classes. I know I put Monday through Friday on there. So doing Monday through Thursday, maybe we need to look into having smaller classes because of the narrow street, or look into the passenger van. But I appreciate the thoughts and the input, so we can like look more into how we can better support the neighborhood as well. So, thank you.
All right, thank you. Okay, if there's no other comments, then we will close the public hearing on this agenda item at 7:41 tonight. As discussed, we believe that this needs another application to move forward, and so I would look for a motion to table this agenda item for now.
I would recommend you approve or deny, because it has to be a whole new application. There's no point in really tabling it.
Okay, fair enough. All right. Would anyone like to make a motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to deny the conditional use permit for the Oaks Dance Studio located at 292 West, 500 North, with the condition to reapply with a different applicant.
Okay. Thank you. We have a motion by Commissioner Nixon. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Commissioner Romero. Any further discussion? Okay, let's vote. Commissioner Moak.
Yes.
Commissioner Romero.
Yes.
Commissioner Nixon.
Yes.
Commissioner Wood, yes. Commissioner Hoffman.
Yes.
Commissioner Waite.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes and it's unanimous. Conditional use permit as applied in this application is denied. All right, let's move on now to agenda item number 3. This is a proposed amendment to the general plan.
Sorry, let me get to the right map. Okay, for the general plan, we recommend, let me show you what it currently, this is the current future land use map. The proposed changes would be this top triangle in red, we would turn commercial, and then this like rectangle piece would be commercial mixed use. There is a future interchange coming in, and so both areas would have good access to major roads, so commercial would make sense. This is a visionary. It is the change to a general land use, so just keep that in mind. It would be a recommendation to the city council.
Okay. So, excuse me, those two colored parcels would change to commercial and commercial mixed use.
Mm-hmm.
They are currently?
They're currently ag. Agricultural heritage area.
Okay, thank you. Would you go back to the new?
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
Sorry, it's so sensitive.
No worries. As we look at this map, could you point out where the new interchange is planned to be? It's on 124th, is that right?
Yeah, it's like right.
No, it's
down.
right at the top of the proposed.
Okay.
red. It's 124.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do we have any proposed uses for those areas currently?
Yes, we do.
I think we looked at an application that would be in that commercial mixed use area, right?
Yeah.
And is there anything else like more definitively planned up near 124th where the interchange would be?
Not at this time, no.
Yeah, we're just kind of thinking of taking that corner between the tracks and the future interchange. Do we have a timeline for a future interchange there? It's always the question, right?
Yeah, so that is what's called a phase 3 or a vision project with MAG, which means it's 20 to 30 years plus out.
Mm-hmm. That's in here? No. Oh, this one? Okay.
Yeah, I don't hate it. I would want to, could we not bring the commercial down a little more into the AHA? Yeah, south of the tracks. Would we want to do that?
Are you thinking of that whole part that projects
Mhm.
up to the north, even on the
Yeah.
west side of the tracks?
Possibly.
Is that not an orchard right there?
Well, I think the conventional thinking is because the railroad tracks are there, it's going to be fairly disconnected potentially from the interchange. You're likely not going to have an at-grade crossing. There is no at-grade public crossing on that big loop of the railroad tracks that come down there. And so I think that's kind of the conventional thinking is that it probably wouldn't make sense in that particular location south and just a little bit west of where the red is shown now, because it's going to be physically disconnected.
Okay.
You're likely not going to have any type of at-grade crossing ever approved through the railroad. Now, that doesn't mean that a large overpass wouldn't be, but that's likely going to be east to west at the 124 South interchange location. So I think that's kind of why it's gone the way that it has gone right now, is because that would make it so that it is more contiguous and accessible from the future freeway interchange. I think that's why it's the way it is now.
That makes sense. Yeah. Okay. No, I like it. I like the commercial up by the interchange, and to mix in some commercial mixed use is good.
We still also need a public hearing because it is a general plan amendment.
Right. Thank you for that reminder.
My question is, why are they excluding that little triangle that's across the street from it?
Wait, what are you looking at?
Which triangle are you referring to?
The one to the west,
Oh, closer to the track.
right next to the tracks. Right next to the tracks,
But
just
on
to
the
the
east
west
side?
of the red.
You told me.
One more time. So if you look at C,
Yeah.
C is what we're going to change. Just to the left of that, there's a little triangle piece. Up.
That's not city boundary.
Oh,
It's not in city boundaries. Okay. I was wondering why it was left out. Okay.
Soon to be.
Yeah, good question. Okay, while we're mulling this over, let's go ahead and move forward with the public hearing on this agenda item, and we'll invite some comments. So we'll open the public hearing tonight on the proposed amendment to the general plan at 7:48. Would anyone like to comment on this proposal?
I didn't sign up.
That's okay.
You can't.
Art Adcock. I just wondered how far north it went, and it's 12,400.
Mm-hmm.
Who currently owns or used? How's that property being used currently? Is it being farmed, or is it just vacant and unused? Do we know?
I believe it's a mix. I believe there's some vacant and there is some farmland that's going on in there. That's correct.
Because of this public hearing, were the property owners notified and had an opportunity to respond?
So this is a public hearing for the general plan amendment. If that moves forward and gets done and gets approved by the council, then it would go to a rezone, and then the property owners would be notified. At this point in time, there's no requirement to notify the public because it's not a land use. This is a general plan amendment.
Okay.
That's why we're where we're at.
How far north of the, maybe someday in somebody else's lifetime, the high school being built, how far north of this is that?
It's actually south of that, before and east.
This is south of that.
No, this is north of the high
Oh,
school.
yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Correct. Sorry.
All right, any other comments during the public hearing tonight? Okay, then we will close the public hearing at 7:50. Where on this map is the proposed school location?
Roughly right about right here.
Okay.
The school district owns about 90 acres right in this zone right here that is where the future high school will be at. Sorry, I'm sorry. It's right here on this side of this 5200 west is also our 400 east.
Right. And it's
So it's
east of that.
right here in this location.
Ah, okay. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Do you have a definition handy of what the agricultural heritage area is?
I don't have it handy, but I can grab it real quick for
Okay.
you. Do you have any other questions while I'm grabbing this? It's not in the general definitions, is it?
Maybe we should read the
It's not in my general definitions because it's not a code. It's in the general plans.
1022, yeah. 102210, isn't it?
How do you know that?
Oh, it's right here. The agricultural uses on large lots, 20 acres with minor residential use or rural residential clusters. And then it provides examples to the side.
Thank you. Can you scroll a little bit and let us see what CMU
Yeah.
shows as well?
Sorry. Oh, it does all that.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Any other questions or concerns? As stated, we need to provide a recommendation to the City Council on this proposed change. Does anyone feel like they want to make a recommendation?
Yeah, I will. I'll make a positive recommendation to the city council to change the master development map. Is that what it's? General plan to commercial and CMU in the identified locations.
Okay. We have a motion with a positive recommendation. Do we have a second?
I can second.
Second by Commissioner Moak, motion by Commissioner Nixon. Any further discussion on this? Okay, then let's go ahead with a vote. Commissioner Waite,
Yes.
Commissioner Hoffman,
Yes.
Commissioner Wood, yes. Commissioner Nixon?
Yes.
Commissioner Romero?
Yes.
Commissioner Moak?
Yes.
Okay, that is forwarded with a positive recommendation and it's unanimous. Thank you very much. Okay, we can move on now to agenda item number 4. This is a preliminary subdivision plan on the Bella Vista subdivision.
Okay, the Bella Vista subdivision, we have our applicants here in the audience. It's in the R10 zone. It's a proposed 119 lots, just under 43 acres. It has received preliminary approval from DRC. So if it receives approval from Planning Commission tonight, then it will submit final plans that will be reviewed by the DRC again.
Okay, we have the applicants here. Is there anything you'd like to add? Would you state your name for us, please?
You bet. I'm Cameron Spencer, Bella Vista Subdivision. And just want to point out a couple of, this is similar to the other R110 subdivisions that we've done around here. They're conforming lots. They're exactly what we love doing in Santaquin. Similar to Stratton Meadows and Stratton Acres previously, these are the same size lots. But there is a little bit of difference here. We've worked with the city to accommodate 400 East as a collector or arterial. I can't remember which, but I think it's a collector class. And so we've done some different things. We'll be improving our half of 400 East. So our subdivision is designed from the center line of 400 East going west to accommodate that half width build. And then along 400 East, we've agreed to do vinyl fence along there, and the homes will not front 400 East. So it is a little different than like Stratton Acres or Stratton Meadows, where they had homes fronting 200 East. And then we've also done some things that maintain access to other properties, mainly to the south, to the Loveless and Stratton properties, for those guys that aren't ready to develop their property yet. And we've also, there is that piece right kind of in the southeast corner of the junior high school site that is owned by a private family. And we've also accommodated a temporary turnaround or cul-de-sac there. But the school district has also been in contact with that family to possibly buy it and incorporate that into the school site and then continue the road through there instead of doing a cul-de-sac.
Okay.
But we've made all those arrangements so that it didn't cause a disruption or anything for the city. So
Okay.
Open to any questions you have and look forward to your thoughts on this.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions for the applicant?
He answered my question about that cul-de-sac. I was thinking it should be a through street, but
Yeah.
I guess they don't want to play. So
they are providing access, future access, which is part of our code. They're not landlocking them, which is again something that they have to do. So we appreciate them working on that.
I like that you're improving 400 because I don't know how many of you drive on that road. It's awful. So that's going to be nice. The vinyl fencing will be good. I like the 1/4 acre lots. We did wonder, there is that development to the west that they're all nice new homes going up, but they aren't putting in the front yards. And we feel like that's going to devalue those lots and those properties. So we didn't know if you can add some kind of CCR that those lots would be developed or finished fully or landscaped somehow. So I don't know if we can add that, but that's just a thought I've had.
Yeah, just to address that, the current city code doesn't require any front yard landscaping for 1/4 acre conforming lots. Okay. And we could establish an HOA that would maintain that or require that, but our goal is to not do that. We just want it to be a normal conforming lot subdivision that wouldn't have additional encumbrances. I understand that the current builder in there is Meritage Homes, and I don't know what their plan is going forward, but we can speak to them about that being a concern of the residents.
Yeah.
I know they've had probably 6 or 7 families move into the Stratton Acres subdivision, and some have agreed to do front yards in that build and some haven't. So it's just kind of, I don't know if they're going to work out sod credits or some kind of participation.
And
but it's currently not
they're
required.
not offering that right now. And
Yeah.
so it's been a concern. And it's kind of been a concern for those buying the home because it's an added expense that they can't really afford. So I don't know. It's definitely something we want the neighborhoods to stay nice because you are creating a really nice neighborhood. So we want them to look nice when it's complete.
Yeah, and I think the market will drive that demand, and I really hesitate to put anything in a subdivision as far as a city or a developer requirement that burdens these lots unfairly in relation to other lots in the area. I realize that the landscaping is a burden for people to put in afterwards, but it also increases the cost of the house. And so, builders will charge for it. They're not going to lose money
Yeah.
by putting in a landscaping.
It's just easier for like a 30-year loan to have like 10 grand encompassed in 30 years than them to have that out of pocket.
Yep, and they do have that option. They they currently offer that option, but a lot of the buyers aren't.
They aren't doing it.
Yeah, they're not selecting it. So
It's just when they finish their own yard, you know how it gets. But isn't it a requirement to have the yard in the first year per city code?
I was under that impression as well.
Yeah.
So we do have a requirement to have landscaping. However, the state has
It's
not allowed us to enforce that, I guess is the best way to put that.
yeah,
We actually do require it in city code, but the state now will not allow us to withhold a C of O
Yeah.
or charge a bond for landscaping. So it really comes back to the developer and the homeowner. We had a previous administration that landscaping in front yards was very important, and that's why they put the code in. But the state legislature has taken that authority away from us.
Yeah, and I think from the state, we've seen a concerted effort by the governor and his office to make homes a little bit more affordable. And everything that we do at the approval and entitlement stage requirements on each lot or development or home, everything we do at this stage just adds to the cost down the road. That gives less flexibility to families when they're going to shop for homes. But it is something that's a tricky balance for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I just didn't know if we could find a way. So, but I like the development. So.
Is that something when you go to close on a house that's, or are they told that like you're buying in Santaquin, you're required within a year to get the yard done?
I don't think they tell them they're supposed to within the year. I tell them because I know.
But that's not a requirement to tell homeowners when they buy?
Mm-hmm. No, the builder just says if it's included or not, or if it's an upgrade option at this point.
The only requirement was be if there's CCRs on the lot, then you'd have to be presented with that at that time. But this is city code.
Because I don't like the idea of putting an HOA in, because I know a lot of, especially with this size lot, people aren't going to want an HOA.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think it's a big deal.
Yeah.
But I don't.
If it's not part of our code, you can't force them to do it.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
It's a moot point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think I know the answer, but I just want to clarify. At one point, this was going to be part of a PUD, and I believe that's no longer the case, right?
Right. These are all conforming laws.
Right.
There is no PUD.
That is correct. They're not seeking higher density, and so because of that, they're conforming 10,000 square foot plus lots. There's no need for a PUD.
Yep, gotcha. Okay. Any other questions or discussion on this agenda item? It's the Planning Commission's job to vote on approval of the preliminary plan as the land use authority. So that's what we need to do. Would anyone like to make a motion to proceed?
I move that we approve. Is that the correct term? I move that we approve the preliminary plan for Bella Vista subdivision. I don't think there's anything else that needs to be added to that, because it's all meeting code and everything else.
Yeah.
So.
Were there any recommended conditions? Okay.
No.
All right, we have a motion to approve by Commissioner Waite.
Sorry to interrupt, but just one clarification. On the agenda, it says 122 lots, and I believe that's a mistake, so you'd want to clarify that.
On the plan, it said 119, correct?
It was 119,
Correct,
right? Yeah, it does say 122 lots on the agenda.
You could make that part of your motion, just of the 119 rather than 122.
All right, then I move that we approve the Bella Vista subdivision with 119 lots, correcting the agenda for tonight.
Okay, thank you. We have a motion to approve by Commissioner Waite at 119 lots. Do we have a second?
Commissioner Wood, I'll second that.
All right, we have a second by Commissioner Hoffman. Any further discussion? Okay, let's vote. Commissioner Moak.
Yes.
Commissioner Romero.
Yes.
Commissioner Nixon.
Yes.
Commissioner Wood, yes. Commissioner Hoffman.
Yes.
Commissioner Waite.
Yes.
Okay, that preliminary plan is approved and it's unanimous. All right, thank you. Okay, we can move on to agenda item number 5. We need to approve the minutes from our last meeting on August 12th, 2025. Do we need to have any discussion on those minutes before we vote? Thanks, everyone. Okay, then I would look for a motion to approve those minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes on August 12th, 2025.
Okay, thank you. We have a motion to approve by Commissioner Moak. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Commissioner Waite. All in favor?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Anyone opposed? Okay, those minutes are approved and it's unanimous. All right, what else do we need to talk about tonight?
We have some other applications, but they're pretty early on the DRC agenda, so that's all I have for you tonight.
Okay, we will look forward to those coming down the pipeline. Thank you. Commissioners, anything else we need to talk about? All right, I would look for a motion to adjourn then.
I'll make a motion to adjourn at 8:07.
We are.